ein herzliches Willkommen zurück bei Trades of Cold Steel 2, wo wir jetzt nun am Abend vor unseres letzten freien Tages noch ein bisschen in der Unterkunft rumlaufen. Was wird Reen wohl zu Crows leerem Raum sagen?
Here's Crow's room. I think I'll stay away from it for now. I feel more like going around and talking to everyone.
Definitiv ist das wahrscheinlich auch die beste Idee. Na, fleißig am Lernen, Makias?
Hey, Machias! Working hard or hard?
I'll stop you right there. Of course I'm hard at work. Just look at the size of this book. If I can't internalize as much of it as possible while I'm here, I'm doomed to failure from the start.
And this is one of your new textbooks? Man, Heimdall's political academies don't mess around, do they? You'll be the youngest person there, right?
Most likely. I'd normally need to have graduated from Thor's with a bit more experience under my belt to have gotten in. There are a few Thor's grads there already, though. They take some every year. And as you might imagine, the recent political upheaval has the place swarming with applicants this year. The entrance exam was hard enough on its own, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Can't say I envy you. Still, I know you're going to be just fine. You're so smart that you can handle any subject they throw at you. Growing up with your dad should give you a leg up on the politics, too.
Yeah, no pressure there. Honestly, there are times when I think diving into things head first like this is a giant mistake.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just... I know we're probably going to both be really busy with our own lives come spring, but let's make time to have lunch together once in a while or something, okay? Studying is all well and good, but even I need a change of pace every now and again.
I think that can be arranged. The train from here to Heimdall only takes a half hour. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't hang out sometimes.
Then it's a date.
Stimmt, ja genau. Meine Verwirrung, was den Abschluss von Thors angeht, hat sich dann aufgeklärt dadurch, dass ich bei einem anderen Video mal einen Kommentar gelesen habe. Also Reen muss das Jahr nochmal wiederholen, das wurde ja auch schon angedeutet, dadurch, dass sie gesagt haben, dass er das alles nochmal machen muss, weil er halt so wenig Zeit in der Schule, also hier in Thors verbracht hat, durch die Aktivität in Crossbell halt, ne, und seinem Dienst als Militärofficer. Dadurch muss er das Jahr nochmal machen. Die anderen aus Klasse 7 prügeln den Stoff gerade irgendwie schneller durch und können früher ihren Abschluss machen. Deswegen ist das hier doch das letzte Jahr. Also es gibt nicht noch ein zweites und ein drittes Jahr, was man einfach nur nicht spielen kann, sondern das hier ist wirklich das Ende. Alle anderen außer Reen aus dieser Klasse werden nach diesem Jahr die Schule verlassen. So zumindest habe ich das verstanden und das macht auch Sinn, wenn man, also nach dem Storytelling hier.
Taking care of your violin?
Yeah, it's taken care of me over the past year, so why not return the favor? I'm actually planning on giving a few of them to the academy before I go. Just to make sure next year's first years have something to practice with.
That's really generous, and sure to make a lot of people happy. And you'll finally be heading off to a music academy just like you always wanted. I bet they'll push you pretty hard over there, too.
I don't doubt it. I'm going to need to be all music all the time if I want to stand a chance at keeping up.
Also er geht tatsächlich zur Musikakademie, so wie er es ja eigentlich
Though,
auch wollte.
to be honest, after all the time I've spent here, I don't really want my life to be completely about music. I love it, obviously, but to be a balanced person, I want to have a bit more variety in my life, like I had here at the academy. For one thing, I don't want to get too rusty with my orbital staff.
Good to hear. I hope everything works out for you.
Thanks. Me too.
Hmm?
No, it's nothing. Either way, Heimdall and Trista are really close, so don't be a stranger, okay? I know you're gonna have tons of work to get through between your classes and your missions, but...
Don't worry, I'll make time. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to see each other. There's still a ton of Heimdall I haven't seen, too. You'll have to show me around next time I make it over there.
You bet.
Das sind schon mal zwei Leute. Guck mal, wir können zwei Fliegen mit einer Klappe schon schlagen. Elliot und Makias beide in Heimdall besuchen. Ich weiß, wo Gaius wahrscheinlich hingehen wird, nicht wahr?
Are you finishing up your painting, guys?
Yeah, this is my last one. I want to make sure I'm completely satisfied with it before declaring it finished.
That's understandable. You're going to keep painting once you're back at home, though, right?
Well, I don't know how much time I'll have to set aside for it, but I intend to keep working on it, bit by bit. There's growing reason for concern in Calvert to the east of the Highlands. But all in all, things are more peaceful now than they were. I should be able to focus on painting my magnum opus.
Oh, is it going to be of Nord? If anyone can make a masterpiece of the Highlands, it'd be you.
That wouldn't be such a bad idea. But actually, I was intending to paint a picture of the Academy, its students, and the courageous.
You mean...
Now you're getting it. I want to capture the day we liberated the Academy. And once I've finished it, I fully intend to return to Erebonia with it in hand. What better way to forever memorialize this place as my second homeland?
Man, you really are amazing. Well, if you ever need reference materials, you know who to call. I can get pictures of anything you might need and send them over. I know you're talented, but that's a lot to paint off of just your memory.
I'd appreciate that.
Something on your mind, Eustace?
For the first time in a long time, no. I'm just taking a short break. Looking over an endless sea of documents can be rather tiring on the eyes.
Oh, are those the tax reports you mentioned?
Ordinarily, this would be my father's work, but His Majesty has yet to decide his fate. Rufus hasn't so much as glanced in Berea Hard's direction since he took his new job in Crossbell either. As such, the task falls to me.
Man, I knew everyone in our class had it pretty rough right now. You've got it roughest, no contest.
If my ego had its way, I would boast that filling in for my father is a simple and mundane task. But on top of the paperwork, I'll need to manage the provincial army and oversee the province as a whole. Then there's the matter of keeping the most stubborn of the nobility in check. I don't expect the first 6 months to be pleasant.
The fact that you're already thinking 6 months ahead is pretty impressive as it is. Standing in for Duke Alberea like that must take some real confidence. I know you'll manage, though.
That much is obvious.
What is it?
It's nothing. In the days to come, more people will be relying on you than ever before. But no matter who does so or what they ask, do maintain your pride and your autonomy, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks.
Mein
I
Gott.
promise I will.
I'll hold you to that.
Das passiert witzigerweise nicht nur mir, sondern auch ein paar anderen Leuten, dass sie aus Versehen mal irgendwie was überspringen. Ich muss wirklich die Hand komplett von der Maus nehmen, damit mir das nicht passiert.
Something on your mind, instructor?
You could say that. I've been mulling over how things are going to be come next month, but all this soul-searching's giving me a headache.
Well, it'll probably feel strange being back with the guild for the first time in 2 years.
Oh, Sarah geht zurück zur
I
Gilde.
bet they'll be glad to have you back. Things are probably going to be rough over there, even with you taking up the bracer life again.
Sie war nur für uns, sie war nur die Lehrerin für Klasse 7, ne? Jetzt, wo Klasse 7 nicht mehr ist, wird sie an dieser Akademie nicht länger arbeiten.
No doubts there. I can already see plenty of traveling abroad in my future after what happened over in Crossbow. And I imagine it'll keep getting harder and harder for us bracers to operate here, too. What's with that sad puppy look? There's no reason for you to feel ashamed of what you've chosen to do. I'm proud to have a student like you who can stand up and make the tough choices life thrusts on us.
Thanks, instructor. I'll try to just grin and bear it for now.
Attaboy. Sticking it out through the hard times with a smile will put you on the fast track to becoming a great man. Just make sure you don't try to shoulder too much. All that'll do is turn you into a jaded grump. Everything in moderation, okay?
Thanks? I haven't joined the intelligence division, and I have no plans to. I'm gonna keep responding to their requests, but only if I'm comfortable doing what they're asking. And I can promise you, I'll never do anything that would put me in conflict with the guild or put innocents' lives at risk. I don't know what the future will bring for me, but that's the creed I want to stand by.
I know. Don't worry. No matter what happens, you'll always be my student. So go out there, live your life, and grow into such a heartthrob that I won't be able to take my eyes off you.
Well, I'll try. What's up, Milliam?
Oh, hey, Reen. It's nothing. I just feel kinda down.
Down?
Yeah. I was just thinking about how everyone was at dinner time. Sharon's food was really nice, and we all seemed like we were having a good time. But I don't know. It was weird, like we were all upset but didn't want to let it show. It's been bugging me.
Oh, so that's why. You really have grown so much these past few months. And not just mentally. I think you've gotten a little taller too.
Maybe. About 2 rage or so? Judging by my specs, I'm not gonna get much taller than this, though. I'm mini-millium forever and ever. But you never know. Maybe I'll grow up to have boobies so big, I can use them as a shelf like Emma's.
Stellt er sich gerade vor.
Something wrong?
Nah, not really. So, you've got a new mission starting next month, right?
Yep, I've gotta go see how things are over out west. Duke Cayenne's been arrested, but it sounds like things are still pretty nuts over there. Oh, but guess what? I might get to go out to Liberal and Rimiferia soon.
What is it with you and blabbing classified information? Well, whatever. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself. And be sure to keep in touch. I'll always be right there when you need me, okay?
Righto, I promise. That goes double for you, mister. If you need me to bust you out of a jam, just say the word.
Dieses Gefühl, wenn man mit einer Serie gerade fertig ist oder einem Film und es ist plötzlich vorbei. Das ist bei dem Spiel auch so krass, wie es bei keinem anderen Spiel ist, meiner Meinung nach. Also sowas habe ich bei keinem anderen Spiel so intensiv gefühlt wie hier. Wie gesagt, ich freue mich jetzt schon auf meinen nächsten Playthrough durch Trails of Cold Steel 1. Um endlich wieder hier in der Akademie mein Leben leben zu können, auch wenn es jetzt erstmal vorbei ist.
Feeling sad about leaving the lacrosse club behind?
Yeah, I was really into it by the end. I think it'll make for some wonderful memories to look back fondly on in the years to come.
I can imagine. Does that mean you're not going to keep up with lacrosse in Ruhr?
I don't think I'll be able to. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any local teams I could join. And even if there were, I doubt I'd have the time for sports. Just thinking about how busy I'll be makes my head spin. No, scratch that. Being busy is all the more reason I need to make time for exercise.
Yeah, good luck with that. Helping out with the Rhineford group sounds like a recipe for one all-nighter after another.
Not just yet, actually. I won't be helping until Grandfather shows me the ropes. As I am now, I doubt I'll be able to do much at all in the way of rebuilding the company. But you can bet I'll leave Mother speechless with how much progress I've made in a year's time.
I'm sure you can if you put your mind to it. And I know Sharon will always be willing to help you out if you need her.
She probably would, but then she'd just tell everything she did to Mother.
Elisa?
I don't really care what happens to the Rhineford group. I don't even want to go back to Ruhr. All I want to do is stay here with you.
Oh.
Elisa. We've talked about this. The best thing for the two of us now is to go our separate ways. You only get one life, so you've got to make the most of it. You shouldn't feel obligated to give that up for someone else's sake.
Oh, es ist true und schmerzt.
That's as true for us as it is for the rest of our classmates.
I know, I just hate that it has to be this way. But with half the company's directors now gone, the group is now much weaker than it was before. Everyone's saying we should be making more weapons than ever, but the company is in no position to do something like that. Mother and Grandfather might be skilled, but even they aren't skilled enough to go against the changing times. As their family, I feel like I should be right there supporting them. No, scratch that again. It's not because I feel like I have to. I want to support them.
Then that's what you should do. Don't worry about me. I'll be just fine. Even if we're apart, I'll always be thinking of you. Not a single day will pass where I won't be thinking about that sweet, hardworking girl I fell in love with.
Oh Gott.
Oh, Reen, that's so sweet. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so worked up. I'm really happy though.
Me too. Still, let's make the most of our free day tomorrow. It's the last one we'll ever have as a class. The last thing any of us want to do is end it with regrets.
Yeah, you're right. I'll probably spend most of it with the lacrosse club while you're out helping the student council. But I want it to be something we'll always remember.
Ach, mach dir keine Sorgen. Ich weiß, am Anfang wird es vielleicht nicht einfach, aber ich werde versuchen, einen wirklichen Unterschied zu machen in der Firma. Außerdem wird es mir eine Chance geben, meiner Mutter zu zeigen, was ich drauf habe. Also wie könnte ich da Nein sagen? Lass uns morgen das Beste aus unserem freien Tag machen. Ich hatte tatsächlich gehofft, dass wir auch ein bisschen Zeit morgen zusammen verbringen können. Mit Sicherheit.
Are those seeds you got there?
Yep, Adel gave them to me. They all came from the plants we grew in the gardening club. I'm just looking at what kinds there are here.
Really? That's really nice of her. It's kind of like you can take everything you've achieved over the past year with you.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to join a club until Adel found me relaxing, but I guess it wasn't so bad.
Don't you worry. I'll be sure to check on the gardening club every once in a while just to see how things are going. It would be a shame if all the plants you've spent so long looking after were to wither and die.
It doesn't matter. Even if they do, they'll eventually bloom again somewhere else. Kind of like us.
When you put it that way, I suppose you're right. What's wrong?
Nothing. This one and this one should be okay too.
Vieh hat Rena ein paar von den Samen gegeben.
What are these for?
They're the easiest ones to look after. You can try raising them if you want. Don't worry if they wilt or anything, though. When I've found the others from Zephyr, I'll come back and check if they're still blooming. If they are, you get a pat on the head.
Hey, I thought the head rubbing was my job, but I'll give it my best shot.
Nicht gerade sehr überraschend, dass Vieh zurück zu den Jägern geht und das mit Zephyr versucht, wie auch immer man einen Toten wieder lebendig machen will.
Emma? What are you doing?
Wenn Vieh das rausgefunden hat, kann sie uns ja helfen, Crow wieder zu holen.
Oh, hi there, Reen. Well, Dorothy and I decided that we're gonna put together one final collection of stories as a club. Since then, I've been working on a story for the students who will join the club next year.
Oh, that sounds neat. Wait, if Dorothy's involved...
The content is totally appropriate for children of all ages, I assure you. Admittedly, Dorothy's own story sounds like it'll have a few of her favorite literary elements, but all in moderation, she assured.
Not that I'm one to judge. What kind of story are you writing?
It's supposed to be a fairy tale. I can't pretend it's 100% original, though. I borrowed some elements from a story I heard as a child. It's going to star a golden unicorn and a pure-hearted maiden. Or at least, that's the plan.
Sounds interesting. Can I give it a read when you're done? I'll still be here next year, so if I see any first years who seem like they'd enjoy it, I'll recommend it to them.
I have to confess, I'm a little embarrassed to let anyone see it, but the whole point of a story is to be read.
Something wrong?
No, not at all. I'm sure you and Valimar will be just fine without my help now. Still, if you do need anything, don't hesitate to get in touch. It may take some time to contact me, though. You'll need to use a method that isn't exactly conventional.
Yeah, I could have guessed as much. I mean, I theoretically get how to use runes to communicate since you told me, but I have no idea how it actually works.
Rune?
I'd be shocked if you did. It's pretty far removed from the orbital technology you're used to. It has its benefits, though. For one, you'll be able to reach me no matter where I might be. So don't ever hesitate to drop me a line if you need my assistance. I'd always be happy to hear from you.
All right, I'm sure I'll give you a ring. Or a rune, I guess. I hope you end up being able to find Vita, too.
Aha.
Thank you.
Das ist Emmas Plan.
What are you looking at, Laura?
It's you, Reen. I'll show you.
Oh.
You and Monica got a picture taken together? You both look so happy in it, too.
That we do. Someone in the photography club kindly offered to take it for us.
Oh, das kann ich mir vorstellen. Das war bestimmt ein Typ, ne?
I thought it would make a fine souvenir of my time at the academy to take away with me.
My mirror's on that being Rex. Oh well, it's a nice photo, and he got permission. For once. I never expected you and Monica would get so close. Between her and Fee, you kind of have a knack for becoming the best of friends with the ones you bump heads with first.
Please don't say that. I'm truly grateful to both of them for broadening my horizons. Meeting them enriched my life in ways I could have never pictured before. Truly, coming to this academy was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I didn't realize we'd made such a big impact on you.
Well, you did. And don't mind me, I'm just feeling there's no harm in a few tears, I suppose. This will be my last time I can relax before my training, after all.
Yeah, you're not gonna get much rest in with the training you've got lined up.
I won't be learning the Arcade School's advanced techniques with training any less intense. I have no idea where we'll be conducting said training, but it will no doubt be as perilous as it will be dangerous.
I had to spend a month in the Isengard range as part of mine. I don't think a month's going to cut it with what you're doing, though. It goes way beyond your average techniques.
Indeed. I'm anticipating that it will take at least half a year, if not more. Father's going to be with me. But with things as difficult as they are, part of me feels guilty for taking up his time.
I don't know about that. I think him agreeing to train with you shows how much faith he has in your potential.
Ja, also Laura, also die Tochter des Radiant Blade Masters könnte eines Tages sogar noch stärker werden als er selbst und dann muss sich die Welt fürchten.
Besides, in a lot of ways, this might be the best time to do it.
That is very true.
What's wrong?
Nothing at all. Regardless, I'd love to come and visit you should the opportunity present itself. And if it does, I'd like to formally request a duel with you to test how much the two of us have grown.
Let's not kid ourselves. We both know who's going to win that duel. But your invitation is all the motivation I need to get plenty of training in myself. Can't have you beating me too badly.
Also ohne Spirit Unification stimmt das wahrscheinlich auch. Mit Spirit Unification, Reen, bist du hier immer noch der Krasseste.
I hope you will.
Aber das würde er niemals gegen seine eigenen Klassenkameraden benutzen, von daher. Okay, das waren sie alle. Zumindest Klasse 7 plus Lehrerin. Aber natürlich wie immer macht Sharon noch den Abwasch.
Oh, good evening, Master Reen. I thought you had already retired for the evening. How would you like for me to put together some supper?
I appreciate the offer, but I think I've eaten more than I should have as it is. Your cooking really is delicious, Sharon. I was starting to miss it after not having it for so long.
It was my pleasure to cook for all of you again, so I pulled out all the stops with this one. Seeing all of you happily indulging my handiwork always makes every second of preparation worth it. Is something the matter, Master Reen?
Oh, I was just thinking about how you haven't changed a bit. I'm not sure it's my place to ask, but is everything all right over at Ouroboros? I can't help but wonder after how things turned out. Vita seemed really shocked.
I'm afraid I haven't a clue. No word of what's been happening in the society has reached my ears since then. I have no idea where the second Anguis is now. Nor do I know what happened regarding the Phantasmal Blaze plan after the Chancellor declared he was taking it over. And quite frankly, none of it is my concern. The answers won't change who I am, and it won't suddenly cause me to shift priorities. I am and always will be a proud maid of the Reinford family. Not because of the freedom we enforcers are granted, but because that is simply who I am. Much like how you being the Ashen Chevalier doesn't change how you are also a proud member of Class 7.
I suppose you're right.
And no matter what happens to you in the future, never lose sight of who you really are. It's almost time for me to return to Ruhr. But should you ever need me again, I will gladly rush to your side. Naturally, that includes your relationship with Lady Elisa. I'll be rooting for the two of you.
I should have known. Still, thank you. I'm glad you can stay here for a while longer.
Ich werde wohl das Radio anmachen.
In finance, the annexation of Crossbell has seen shares in Erebonian companies increase at an exponential rate across the board. And despite the Reinford Group announcing sweeping changes to its board members, its strong forecast for the next fiscal year is...
It's time for the start of a brand new program here on Radio Trista, coming at you promptly every Sunday.
Ich hatte sehr gehofft, dass irgendwie Vita sich dazu entschlossen hat, noch einmal Abendtime zu moderieren. Dass wir das noch einmal jetzt hören können. An unserem letzten Abend sozusagen, vor dem letzten freien Tag. Ich hatte es gehofft. Aber es macht irgendwie storytechnisch natürlich auch, glaube ich, Sinn, dass das nicht möglich ist.
I call it Abendtime after the word for evening. Might be a little cliched, but sometimes simple is best, right? Clichés are clichés for a reason after all. Anyway, my name is Misty and I'll be your host.
Ich frage mich, wo Vita jetzt gerade ist. Ich hatte das Gefühl, dass sie wirklich gerne Abendtime gemacht hat. Aber es ist nicht so, als könnte sie das einfach weitermachen nach all dem. Wer kann das denn sein? Hallo?
This is you, isn't it, Reen?
Elise?
Yes, it's me. Sorry for calling you like this so late in the evening. I'm not bothering you, am I?
Oh nein, natürlich nicht. Ich bin einfach nur nicht dran gewöhnt, dass du mich anrufst. Rufst du mich von der Schule aus an?
Yes. I wasn't going to, but Her Highness insisted. It'll take some getting used to, but it's nice to be able to hear your voice even when you're so far away.
Ich war auch ziemlich überrascht, als ich deine Stimme gehört habe. Zu Hause hast du nicht wirklich oft mit dem Handy angerufen.
I didn't have any specific reason for calling. It was just that the letter you sent about your return from Crossbell arrived today.
Oh, das ging schnell. Ich habe ihn nur vor ein paar Tagen abgeschickt. Tut mir leid, dass es wirklich ein Brief nur sein konnte. Ich wollte eigentlich wirklich dich besuchen kommen, aber es hat nicht funktioniert.
Oh, please don't apologize. I know how busy you must be now. Believe me, I was just happy to hear you were back safe and sound. Your trip must have been exhausting. By the sound of things, you did an excellent job, too. I'm so proud of you, Reen.
Danke. Ich habe aber wirklich nicht viel gemacht. Die Hälfte von dem, was im Imperial Chronicle erwähnt wird, ist übertrieben.
If you say so.
Ist irgendwas los?
Not at all. Regardless, now that I've heard your voice, I feel a lot better. So I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your night now.
Jeder Einzelne hat angefangen zu stöhnen oder irgendwie eine Pause zu machen, ne? Bei jedem Einzelnen hat Reen nachgefragt, was ist los, und jeder Einzelne hat gesagt nichts. Das ist irgendwie so ein Muster, was mir jetzt mal aufgefallen ist. Richtig, ja. Gute Nacht, Elise. Ich werde dich bald auch mal besuchen, okay?
Oh, there's no need for that. Good night, Reen. Sweet dreams.
Irgendwie wirkte sie ein bisschen komisch. Nun, sie ist wahrscheinlich nur nervös, weil sie am Handy spricht. Es war auch für mich etwas peinlich, als ich damit anfing. Morgen wird mein finaler freier Tag des Jahres sein. Ich schätze mal, ich sollte jetzt noch alles für nächste Woche vorbereiten, damit ich da morgen am meisten rausholen kann.